Let's go here. And I need one more thing while people are getting on. Get link. All right, people. Let's see. We're live everywhere. We are. It is Monday. It is early for me, 12:03. Still a little delayed. And Gio is here with us. So how is everybody doing? Oops, that's not right. How is everybody? Let me know, put in the comments where you're listening from. I see that you're here. I'd love to know. I see a number, but I'd love to know who's here or at least where you're from. So give us a shout out. If you watch the replay, #replay, Facebook likes it. I don't know what they do, but they do something about that. And yes, I know that my sign behind me is crooked. It fell down and I stuck it back up by myself before I get anybody else to help me. So, happy Monday. Can you believe it? I will just say that yesterday, Gio, Amy, and I did a fantastic, just about 5-mile traverse across Temple Mountain. Snowshoes. I started in snowshoes and I switched to micro spikes. Amy stayed in snowshoes the whole time. And we had a great time. And Gio is always up for the for an adventure. We did nose work yesterday morning. Had a lot of fun with that. I know I don't have my thing here, G. And then we went out for a hike, and it was beautiful and sunny. And I am so glad we did it because today is kind of one of those gray. We're going to get a storm again. Only 3 inches. It doesn't even seem worth going out to shovel when it's just 3 inches, but we'll see what happens. So I see some people jumping on. Let me know where you're listening from or watching from. Give me the town. Give me a shout out. Say hello. It's always nice to know that I'm actually talking to people and not Geo's and my reflection in the computer. But that's okay too. We'll do either. So let's see. I want to go here. Anybody? Oh, Branson, Missouri. Paula, welcome. Paula, do you have power? Well, you must have power. You're on your computer, but I don't remember hearing about your area in the news so much. Like Texas has been in a really bad place with electricity and water and frozen pipes and stuff. It's not fun. It's not fun when we get a huge snowstorm up here, but we're very well equipped to deal with it. So we have a wood stove, which pretty much goes nonstop from October. We work from home, so we're always putting wood in. I think we're actually gonna have to buy some more wood, but that would pretty much heat the whole house if we absolutely had to. Although I'd be worried about the water and the pipes and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. So thanks. Tell me where you're from. I see more people on. Let me know. Don't be a voyeur. I'd love to give a shout out to people. Okay. So today is Monday, February 22nd. That makes tomorrow, Tuesday, February 23rd. And tomorrow at 6:30 is our webinar, What is My Dog Saying? Listen, you guys, your dog is a living, breathing being. They are an emotional being. Yes, they can express happiness. Yes, they can express fear and worry. Yes, they can be anxious, but all of that is emotion, right? And your dog is telling you how they feel, but most of you are missing it. And that's really sad and unfortunate. And yes, this is my business and this is what I do. And I watch all behavior. I watch people behavior. I watch dog behavior. I'm fascinated by behavior. I don't always understand other species like horses or chickens or things like that, but I still am fascinated by behavior. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So last week I went back to my daughter Rachel's to help her. She has a new baby. And they have a toaster oven that they keep under this in this cabinet. And initially, a couple of weeks ago when I was there helping, every time I put the toaster oven under the cabinet, the door would fall open and the tray would shoot out and crumbs would get all over. And it is what it was. It wasn't anything. It wasn't annoying. It wasn't maddening. It was just stupid, right? So I watched her husband put the toaster oven away, and I realized he had this little trick that he brought the cord up through the front and he stuck it through the handle, which kept the door closed when you're bending down and you're getting this thing in this cabinet. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I know how to do it now. So then last week I was down there and we used the toaster, and then I started to put the toaster oven away, and he came here and goes, oh, I'll do that. I know you don't like doing it. I said, it's not that I don't like doing it. It's just the door always fell open. But I said, I watch behavior, Jesus, and I saw how you do it. And I stuck the cord underneath and down there it went, the door didn't open, poof, super, super easy, right? So I look at behavior, I watch body language, I'm fascinated by it. We were someplace a couple of weeks ago. We were in a store, and we saw a couple of people in the store that we knew, and they seemed to be talking to each other. And anyway, when we left, I said to Amy, oh, they're totally together. She goes, really? I said, yeah, didn't you pick up on that? She's like, no. I'm like, of course they were. I said, the way he stood close to her, he kind of put his arm behind her a little bit. Like, it wasn't like, they were making out in the store together, but I said, they're totally together, which is totally cool. But just examples of reading body language, right? We speak in body language a lot. We're very verbal, obviously, but if you're standing with your arms crossed, or you're looking at your phone and you can't make eye contact with the person that you're, look at Jill moves away. You can't, it's all body language. It all says looking at your phone and not looking at the person you're talking to, it's kind of rude. And it says the message you're not really very important, frankly. But anyway, all right. So your dog is speaking in body language all the time as well. If they're sleeping, not so much. What's Gio saying right now? If he starts to drool, he's very relaxed the way he is. And he's looking here at the computer where I have set his treats so that, he'll know when they're coming his way. But when dogs greet, there's ritualized greeting, really, and how they're supposed to greet, just like how we are supposed to greet one another. Dogs have that same way. And different cultures have different ways of greeting, right? If you go to China or Japan, you may not do a handshake and direct eye contact. Well, we may not be doing that anyway because of COVID. You never know. But your dog is speaking all the time, and your dog is telling you how they feel, what their emotion is underneath. And everybody should understand what their dog is saying, even if you have the perfect dog and you have no issues. Understanding what your dog is saying is so important, and understanding how they are feeling is so important, because then you can help them. You can support them. You will know what you need to be doing in that moment. So many times people say, what can I do? What can I do? And, I can't give you like a whole list of things to do, but if I see a video of your dog, I'll be able to give you a lot more ideas of what to do or how your dog is feeling. And that's the first thing I'm going to show you and say, oh, see how his tail is tucked and his ears are back and he's sort of slinking away, right? Well, he's worried or he's fearful or he just doesn't want to participate anymore, right? It all depends on the context. So when my daughter gave birth, she's breastfeeding. And they've decided to give the baby a bottle of breast milk in the evening. Hang on, fix my scarf. In the evening, in the middle of the night. For whatever reasons, it's irrelevant. So she pulled up a video on YouTube that says how to feed your breastfed bottle. How to feed your breastfed baby a bottle. It was fascinating. And so I watched it. I'm not feeding the baby a bottle, but I watched it. And the person on the video says, babies are very good at expressing their needs and what they need from you. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then she pointed out that I can't remember what this particular baby was doing, but they were either like, kind of going like this. And then when he did something with the bottle, the baby was able to relax and get more in alignment. Head, shoulders, back, and the baby's hips laying on her side were much more in alignment. Whereas if he tipped the ball or did other things which made it do funny things, the baby became very agitated. And not just screaming agitated. Like, I think we all can agree when a baby cries, we know that something needs to be done, but they do things with their body. But they need us to recognize that. And then they need us to do something to help them, right? So when I'm holding Rachel's baby, Jackson, like sometimes, I'm sort of holding him in the traditional, and you'll watch his face and all of a sudden he'll get all crinkled. I'm like, oh God, here it comes. It'll get upset. And sometimes if I put him over my shoulder and I pat his back, we'll get this big burp. And we all feel better for it, right? Just picking him up in this position first is the first thing that helps him. Then patting on the back and staying there for a little while, it helps the burp come up, and then he's much more happy. And then you can put him back in these positions. Okay, what does that have to do with dogs? A lot, everything. Babies can't talk to you. Can't say, hey, Grammy, could you pick me up a little bit here? Because I got this thing in my intestine. I'm trying to work it out. No, they can't say that. So we have to sort of guess and read their body language to know. And your dogs cannot speak English to you. They don't know what no means. They don't know what leave it means. Just because you yell it every day does not mean that they understand it. If you yell it loud enough, they may respond to it, but they're responding to your voice. They're not understanding any English unless you have given it meaning, like sit, down, come and call, whatever. But they're always talking in body language. Always, always, always. And we miss so much of it. So much of it. And so a little example. So also when I was visiting my daughter, Rachel, they have a intact female Australian doodle. They're guardians, meaning this dog will be bred by the breeder. And we've been waiting for her to come into heat. Excuse me, I don't have my water with me. And so Zoe, I kind of felt like she was licking herself more often, right? Doing like what I've called in the past a genital check, but it didn't look like that. So the second day she was licking herself a lot more as well. And she laid down, I scratched her belly and I kind of took a look and her area was all swollen, indicating she was going into heat. But if we hadn't picked up on her licking herself a lot, body language, we wouldn't have known to check to know, oh, yep, she's in heat. Now we need to not take her to the dog park, whatever it needs to be done. So another small example. I think that a bigger issue for me is the issue of consent. Yes, and I'm talking about dogs. Whether your dog has given consent for you to do whatever it is that you're doing. Oh, look, I didn't scroll up. Jill from Michigan, awesome. Kristen from New Hampshire. Oh, Paula, you got 8 inches cold. You have 2 border collies, 17 and 18. Oh, God, they probably hate it. 2 beagles, 1 and 2 years old. Love my babies. Oh, great, Paula. I'm sorry you got so much snow. I don't feel like that's normal down there, but the poor old dogs, they cannot be enjoying that whatsoever. Okay, so the consent. Like if I come over here and I love up you, he's wagging his tail, but he's not consenting. He's not asking for more, right? He's not bumping my hand like on the couch. He would and I've posted some pictures of him trying to be a lap dog laying on me, right? And if I love him up like that, then he comes and he bumps my hand for more. And he's like, yeah, consent. I love it. I want more. Hey, Kay. Hey, Jane. What's up? Of course you love my hair. Isn't it awesome? I love it too. I'm going to get some bright pink framed glasses to go with my hair. But anyway, he's not consenting right now because he wants this treat, right? This is what he's focused on. And it's like if you're reading a book or you're really into a TV show or something, you're like, wow, what's going to happen? And your kid is like, mama, or somebody's trying to smooch you or whatever. You're like, go away. I want to know what's happening here, right? So Gio's all about what's happening with the treats. He's not interested in my love and affection at this moment, right? So, but if you have a dog that's got some issues, that's sensitive to being touched, sensitive to being brushed, sensitive to having nails trimmed, that is weary around new people, weary around dogs, whatever. This issue of consent is really important so that you know, my dog's not really enjoying that right now. And I think he just physically moved over. You can't see that, but his feet, his front feet, he just took a step to the left to get away from me. He's like, keep touching him. He's like, that's not what I'm about right now. I'm about cookies. Very funny. I would say that Amy's dog Jubilee almost never consents to being loved on, patted, touched, smooched. We do it because she has a pretty good threshold for aggression. She's not going to bite us over it, but she never consents back. She never bumps our hand. She never smushes on us like Geo does. Like last night, Geo on the couch, he walked across Amy and started to spread out and lay down as he got over to me. And he was literally spread across both of our laps, but he wanted to be here, right? Mostly at night he does that. So that's consent. He's like, hey, pat me now because here I am and I'm asking for it. So body language will help you determine whether you have consent, whether somebody else has consent to pat your dog, whether your dog is hating it, loving it, or barely tolerating it. Geo's tolerated what I just did to him a couple of times, but he has still not moved back to me. Can you see this distance? Right? This is not a mistake. He just tried to take a step further away. Like, please don't touch me right now. I'm really interested in the treats. Okay? So what would you do differently if you really understood how your dog felt? That's what I want to know. What would you do differently if you really understood how they were feeling? And you may not know what you would do differently until you're in that situation and you see some of this body language, and then you're going to go, oh, God, I thought that he used to love doing this. I don't think he does so much anymore. And then you can make a decision. Well, it's not the end of the world. I'm still going to do this. Or you can make a change. And all of this is to say, and I've posted in all of the chat areas, we have a webinar tomorrow that we are doing at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, all about dog body language. There's a little PowerPoint. There's lots of video that we're going to go over so you can actually see these things in action. And here is the cool piece. If you have video that you would like me to look at and show tomorrow night, I really need you to send it to me ASAP. I'd like it by 9 o'clock tonight. You might squeeze it in tomorrow morning if you get a chance, but I need to be able to preview it, and I need to be able to be sure it's a video that I can use that, on my computer and all the things with Zoom. But I would love to take a look at some of your video that you have that maybe you're wondering about. Or get your phone out today and start taking some videos of your dogs interacting. Just some of you, Paula, you've got a couple of dogs. I'm sure everybody else here has got a couple of dogs. Jane, you've got a crap load of dogs at your house. Take some video of them interacting and send it to me. And let's take a look at that tomorrow night. I would love that. So I put the registration link in the chat section. I can post it again here for you. It's under $100. It's an hour and a half. You will have access to the recording for a full year. If you cannot be on tomorrow night, but you have video you want to send, register for the webinar, send me the video. I will absolutely go through it, and then you can watch it on the replay because we are recording all of these things. So you will be able to see it at your own convenience. You can see it multiple times if you wish, but they're all being recorded. This is the second of 4 webinars that we're doing every 2 weeks. So body language, in the meantime, I do want to know, what would you possibly do differently? How would you feel if you knew what your dog was feeling? Are you all surprised to see that Geo has moved away from me because I molested him? I patted him up and loved him up when he didn't want it. Right here, right now, I've just done it twice, and he's physically moved away from me in his chair. Let me give him these. Oh, now he's moved his stuff closer. So now, can you see the difference where he is now, right? He is closer now. He had to take a step a little. One foot is moved over, and one foot is not. I don't know if you can see his feet. My arm is in the way because he moved closer to get to the treats. But he wasn't really interested in the love before that. And I don't have to do anything about it. I just recognize that it's happening. But for some of you, with some of the issues that you're dealing with your dogs, it would be really good for you to know that your dog is not feeling very comfortable with Susie Q coming so close, or doesn't really, I don't know, demonstrate all the right things for greeting other dogs. There's a myriad of things that could be going on. We would love to see you tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night live, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. What is your dog saying and how are they feeling? We are going to be talking all things dog body language. If you would like to send me video, please do. You need to register. In order for me to preview it for you, you can send me the video, but you need to register as well. And then I will use the video. You can send it to me on email. You can send me a link to Dropbox. There's a variety of different ways you can send it to me. It doesn't matter. My email is info@everythingdognh.com. I will post that in all the places as well. You can also find it on our website. Oops. Did it go? Yes, there's one. Here's the email coming at you over here. And the email and all the places over here as well. Oh, I forgot the I. It's INFO. It looks like it's NFO. Gosh darn it, when I cut and pasted. No, that one's right. Info. Is this one right? No, this one's not right. We'll get rid of that. And we will just type it in. info@everythingdognh.com. Okay, guys. I hope to see you tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, so that you can all learn how your dog is feeling and what they are saying, and then you'll be able to take appropriate action, hopefully. If you watch it on the replay, please put in #replay. I'd love to know that, and Facebook likes to know that. I can't tell you why, but I know that they do. All right, everybody, it's time for lunch. See you next week, and I'll see you tomorrow night.